Alright, hey guys! A new day, a new vlog. I just had to turn off the AC really quickly. Unfortunately, I live in the state of Oregon, and today it's like low 90s. I like sun, I like when it's warm, I like when my skin gets a little bit of color, more freckles. I hate the heat. It's too hot for me and I'm not having a good time, but unfortunately, I only have one room in my entire house with AC, and that would be my book room slash game room. So we're in here today, hopefully to get some stuff done, but more importantly, AC. So here we are. Thought I would kick off today's vlog, since I just got off work, with reading updates from the weekend, since I didn't officially close off yesterday's vlog. So still reading The Picture of Dorian Gray. I'm a little after chapter 2. I'm on page 13. I'm very slow and steady going through this, but I'm absolutely enjoying the ride. Originally I picked this up for the Dark Academia Book Club readathon for the end of the month. For the end of the month of May. Wow. But lucky enough for me, this actually flows into the buzzword challenge for June, which is to have a name or a title in the title of the book, if that makes sense. I will grab my other two picks for it this month as well when I get to the TBR aspect. But yes, I'm still currently reading this. I did not finish it in time for the Dark Academia readathon, but it flows into this month's challenge. So I'm finishing this, long story short. And I'm really enjoying the ride. Like, I'm very excited about this. I'm taking my time. I'm learning a lot of new vocabulary. I'm just enjoying the ride. I think after I finish reading this, I'm going to listen to an audiobook version and then have Austin read it and then read it again so I can annotate it, because I'm really enjoying this. So that is that. This is Jeffrey and this is Romeo, just in case you're curious. Alright, and then I'm also still in the process of reading House of Salt and Sorrows. I definitely need to restart and just pick this up again. It's a bit heftier than the other books that I've been reading this month. I'm excited about this. I've heard good things. I've been recommended to this by a few YouTubers that I've watched, so I definitely want to finish this and get to it. I'm just procrastinating reading like physical books, and since this is so much smaller in comparison, it's not as intimidating. But that is that. As for audiobooks, I'm listening to They Never Learn by Lane Fargo. I'm 45% of the way through, I believe. Just got to chapter 32 and I think I'm starting to figure some things out. This is for the Literally Dead book club for May. The next one is, I believe, The Lost Ones by Sheena Kamal. This is the Literally Dead book club pick for June, which is exciting. Knocking them out. I think the live show will probably be like mid-June for They Never Learn, in case you're interested and want to hang out. So the other books on my TBR that I purchased earlier this year for this month, specifically off of, I think I got these both from Book Outlet, and I have Hamilton and Peggy, A Revolutionary Friendship by L.M. Eliot, and Dear Evan Hansen, the novel by Val Emmich with Stephen Levinson, Ben J. Pasek, and Justin Paul. So there's a few people on this, I suppose. But yeah, I will be reading these for the month of June as well, and now my camera is flashing at me telling me the battery's gonna die. So I guess I will do my book haul a bit later for you guys. Sorry.
you.
Hi.
She's reading. We've been on a... She is, yes.
Slowly but surely. Hey guys. Oh. Well, I got home from work. I was catching up on some like booktube. I was watching some vlogs of some of my favorite creators because they just posted their vlogs for the week, and I was like, I have to watch them, obviously. So I did that, then I took a nap, and I finished watching them. Now here we are. And it's also really toasty, all of a sudden. But, here we are. I didn't end up vlogging yesterday. Last night was date night. We went to the movies. Austin and I went to see In the Heights. I'm so happy. Oh, hi, sweetie. Oh, hello. Did you want to come say hello? Oh, say hi. Anyway, so we went to go see In the Heights last night. We grabbed some dinner and we ended up at Barnes & Noble because there was a 45-minute dinner wait time. So we ended up at Barnes & Noble. I have a collection of books growing for a book haul here soon. I'm waiting for 2 more to come in the mail, and hopefully no more purchasing of any to continue adding. This collection is like 2 months growing. It's getting a little ridiculous. Anyway, but we went to see In the Heights. We had dinner. We went to Barnes & Noble, spent a lot of money, had a great time. I'm so happy that HBO has this, like, it's not an opportunity, but, like, I'm so happy they're showing things both in theaters but also on their streaming platform, which I have access to. Thank you, parents with DirecTV. But I went to see it in theaters because, duh, and oh my goodness, it was so good, and I'm so excited to probably binge watch it over and over and over again this weekend. I've had Hamilton stuck in my head. If you didn't know, Lin-Manuel Miranda did both Hamilton and In the Heights. In the Heights was his first musical, and oh, I cried in the theater 3 times. I laughed and I smiled, and it was just so enjoyable. The cast is so diverse. You've got a little bit of everything, all the ethnicities, all of the representation. Ugh, the age range was amazing. That's not something I usually see in film. Oh, it's so good. The cameos. I loved it. I was listening to the soundtrack this morning. Just overall, a fantastic time. So, I'm very pleased with that. But that is why yesterday I didn't have any filming, which is unfortunate. I looked real cute. I didn't have any pictures taken at Barnes & Noble for the gram. I have a lot to do. But I thought quickly, before I go do some chores, now that I'm done watching all of the excessive YouTube besides one video. Gonna finish Brittany's video, and then chores, reading, dinner, you know, the good stuff. So, for this weekend's vlog, I'm kind of being ambitious, and you've seen these books before, for the most part, so I won't go into details, no big surprise. But I picked up Hamilton and Peggy, A Revolutionary Friendship by L.M. Eliot. I picked this up yesterday, I believe. I did not get very far. I've been trying and failing, but trying to read this in my car on my breaks at work so that I'm spending a little bit less time on TikTok on my breaks. So, this has been the primary focus for right now. The text is pretty big. It seems like it's going to be an easy read, even though it's a little bit on the bigger side. I don't know if I'm going to finish this weekend or how often I'll end up picking it up, but this is up there on the list. I'm actually really excited for it, especially because I'm in a big Hamilton mood, so I think this is going to fit in perfectly. In the Heights, Hamilton, and Manuel Miranda. Ugh, just such amazing time. Also, shamefully, I'm still reading The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I'm not getting very far. I'm very happy to be reading this. I'm having such a fantastic time reading this. I'm just taking it a lot slower than I was originally thinking I would. Another side note, I'm crushing it with June's buzzword challenge theme of name or title. Names. I'm listening to Anne of Green Gables. Names. Crushing it. All of the books unintentionally that I'm reading this month actually have names, and I did not plan. I already finished Alice in Wonderland, and I did actually just get a physical copy. But yeah, I finished Alice in Wonderland. Wasn't really planning to do that. Oh, it's amazing. Anyway, I'm only on page 28, maybe. So I still have the ways to go, but I'm really enjoying this adventure. I'm liking the characters. Harry and Henry do kind of confuse me. So besides that, I am enjoying this. The reason it's taking me so long is I am learning a whole bunch of words, so I'm forcing myself to stop and take a second to Google what the definitions are and then write them down in my journal. But this has been the main focus of my reading TBR. I'm really hoping, though, to finish it this weekend. It's not long. It shouldn't be too daunting. The text is a bit small, but yes. Picture of Dorian Gray. This is up there. Along with those vibes, we're returning to House of Salt and Sorrow because I should have finished this last month. I still have I'm restarting at this point. Like, there's no point in picking up where I left off. I think I'm just going to restart, but I would also love to finish this weekend. Those are kind of the main reading goals. I'm also listening to Anne of Green Gables, as I mentioned. I still have quite a few hours on that. Let me check. I still have about 6 hours on that. Really enjoying it. The quotes, it's beautiful. I did not realize that Anne with an E on Netflix is based on Anne of Green Gables, so following the storyline, I kind of already know it, and it's making it a lot easier to be entertained by it and get sucked into the characters because I can picture them so vividly with the show. So I might finish the show this weekend as well. Yeah, I don't have a lot of plans going into the weekend besides bookish stuff. But yeah, these are kind of my reading plans. My weekend TBR, if you will. I think that we're going to attempt tonight to finish building my PC. I have footage of us starting, but we started kind of late in the night. We were getting tired, we were getting grumpy at some points, we were not understanding what we were doing. Austin was having a really hard time finding resources that like properly took us through step by step what we were doing with building a PC. Neither of us have done it before. And so it's been an adventure. It's been, thank you, Kyrie. But it has been a time. It's been an adventure. The motherboard is all sorted out. The motherboard is done. It's installed. Right now it's all about like the cords and the power source and the graphics card, and like that's it. That's all we have left. So fingers crossed we can do it and they work and everything goes smoothly. This was a very expensive adventure and it's going to really suck if things don't work out. But I have hope. I think we're doing fine. We just need to find another YouTube video to show us the rest of the way. I don't know if you have ever built furniture with a man, but at times it's a big challenge and they get real frustrated sometimes. So, well, it'll depend on that. But yeah, that's kind of the plans for the evening. So, I will catch ya all later. Hello, welcome back. Long time no see. My bad. So, quick little life update, if you will. I stopped filming for about 2 weeks unintentionally. Austin left for Missouri to go visit a friend and do some business stuff, and then that night before he was leaving, our cat Kyrie broke and or fractured her tail. We're not entirely sure what happened. But basically she was bedridden, so I had to be bedridden. When I was home with her in the evenings, I would crawl into bed and she would just lay there. If I got up, she would also get up. And so it was a lot of just like watching her and babying her. So I didn't actually accomplish anything vlog worthy, so I kind of just took that time to hang out with her and make sure that she was healing and doing all right. And then Austin returned home about a week later and we hung out for a couple days. It was great. I didn't want to vlog everything because I just wanted to see him. And then the good old Pacific Northwest decided it's time to switch things up. And we had a heat wave. For the first time in my 22 years of living on this planet, in Eugene, Oregon specifically, the Pacific Northwest had a heat wave that I actually died through. I'm not equipped to live in 100+ degree temperature. And oh boy was it toasty. On Saturday it was 108 and Sunday I think got up to 112, 113. We have one room in our house that has air conditioning. The rest of the house just hot all the time. Hot. Constantly. You couldn't do anything. I probably should see a doctor about this. I don't know. But I get really like physically sick when I get really hot. So like I'll get super dizzy and lightheaded and just nauseous. So I wasn't really having a great time that chunk of the week where it was just way too hot, and so I sought refuge at my parents' house for a day because they have air conditioning everywhere. And that's kind of been what's been going on with me. It's not very exciting, but you know, it is what it is. We're back. We're better than ever. Maybe. Only time will tell. I have a few video ideas that I would like to accomplish this weekend. Other than that, I don't have a lot of plans. I need to just clean up and tidy the office and do some laundry. So like small little household chores will need to be done. But other than that, that's kind of the essence of my last 2 weeks and what I'm doing this weekend. So I also have some reading updates for you guys that I'll get into here soon, and some exciting gardening stuff to show you. Our backyard is looking so pretty and cute. But yeah, I would love to get some art done. I feel like I haven't done art in so long. June genuinely just like went by so fast. Like it was June 1st 1 second, and then the next time I blinked, like the month was over. And now here I am. It's July 1st. Not like I don't want to date my video, but the month is over and I did nothing. We had some good date nights, and that's about it. Oregon, also another update. Got a lot of them, apparently. Anyway, Oregon has officially gone back to normal. We have no more mask mandates and no more social distancing. I'm fully vaccinated, so it wasn't a big concern of mine anyways. And I don't go outside very often. The only dates that we've had is like the movie theaters and the arcade. So I'm not like, ooh, gonna go live it up now. But it is kind of exciting to go to the grocery store and not wear a mask anymore. But also I'm paranoid. I don't know if anyone else is like this, but although we don't have to wear masks anymore in most places, I still feel like it's a good practice. I don't know. For sure in airports for the rest of my life, I will probably wear a mask. But like day-to-day stuff, I think I'm ready to move forward, move on. But we'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna go check out the garden, water any plants that need to be watered, and then let's do some cleaning and TBR stuff. Sounds like a plan to me. The issue with having like the bookshelves here is the futon is here, so I can't really like properly sit in front of my bookshelf. But they also look so sad right now. Anyway, hello, happy Friday. It's really hot. I think Oregon's getting back on that heat wave grind. I just wanted to pop on, say hello to the vlog. Last night kind of left you hanging. I got really invested. Sorry, my tripod was messed up. I got really like sucked into my journaling last night. I did my July spread. I went very like nautical. I think I was a little bit inspired unintentionally, and so I kind of went with a cute little blue seashell theme. Gonna do better this month at actually utilizing my bullet journal. I kind of slacked off in June. I wanted to hop on, tell you guys my June wrap up as well as my July TBR. June was pretty good for books, I would say. I don't remember a lot. The month, like, I do this thing where I start off the month like really strong, reading all the books, doing the things, and then somewhere after the first week, maybe week and a half, I fall off, and then nothing happens until the end of the month, and I rush. So, I'm gonna hold up the little books here. Most of the books, I only completed one physical book, hoping to work on that a bit more. But I finished Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. Everyone knows it. Alice in Wonderland. Gave it 5 stars. I knew the story. I've seen the movie. I've never listened or read the book. I actually have. I'm not gonna get it, but I just bought a copy. But it's of other stories too, so it's like a collection. But I'm not gonna grab it, sorry. But yeah, read Alice in Wonderland, gave it 5 stars. So next I read or listened to Anne of Green Gables. For better or for worse, I'm not actually sure. I don't know how I feel about watching the TV show before reading the book, because I genuinely pictured like the actors as the characters, and I just could see it, the show playing out in my head while I was listening to the audiobook, which made it really enjoyable and fun in some aspects, while in other aspects I felt like I kind of missed that experience of just like reading it. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I did buy a physical copy, which I am excited to like physically read. The issue that I find with audiobooks, especially the way I listen to them, it's very fast and typically on my commute to work, so I don't have the time to like jot down quotes and like really like get the words that are on the page, and so for that reason, like, it kind of, I don't know, it doesn't ruin the experience. Like, I love listening to audiobooks, but it does make me a little bit sad to not see like some of the really good quotes that a book has, the potential, you know. But Anne of Green Gables, it's a 10-hour audiobook, not terrible, but by the end of it I was like, I just need something quick, something to just listen to really fast. I ended up listening to Witches of New Orleans by Bridget Delry. I think I gave this a 4 stars, maybe 3.5, I don't quite remember. Short story. I think the audiobook was 2 hours. There's 5 chapters. We're following 5 different sisters of a coven. Each girl represents an element in some way, and it's basically each chapter is narrowing on one character and her finding her true love. They're not all straight, so there was some representation of LGBTQ+. It was a good time. It was very fun, very short. Just very supernatural. It kind of gave me like some Vampire Diaries vibes, because there's vampires and all that stuff. And I did have a good time with it. It was very short, very quick. Alright, the next book that I listened to this month and finished was They Never Learn. This was for June's pick. No. April, May. I know stuff, don't worry. Anyway, so May's Literally Dead book club pick. It's been a while since I've read this now. The plot is leaving me without spoiler. This follows 2 different characters, Carly and Scarlett. Carly's going into her freshman year of college, and she meets her roommate Allison. They quickly grow a nice friendship, and you kind of just see their day-to-day life going through college. And when Allison is sexually assaulted, it definitely changes things up. Carly is really against it, whereas Allison's just trying to survive. And on the other hand, we have Scarlett, a professor at the same Gordman University, I believe. She's a professor there and has it out for the worst men on campus. Students, professors, whoever comes across her, whoever comes on her radar. She plans to kill them, and she covers it up until plot twists happen and things get messy. I enjoyed the write of this. I definitely wasn't expecting the plot twist, which might be dumb for some people. They might be really on top of it, but I definitely was not on top of it. It was around chapter 30 where things were really clicking for me, and I was like, everything makes sense. I understand where we're going. But at the beginning of the story, I really didn't care for Scarlett's character. I really just wanted, like, Carly's college drama. Like, it wasn't anything deep. I was just like, this is fun. This is so fun. I like college. And I wasn't really into Scarlett, and then, like, the halfway point, I was like, damn, Scarlett, guys. Like, this is good. So I believe that I ended up rating this 3.5 stars. Now, that took a really long time to get through. Luckily, I have two books left that I got through in June. One of them being the June Literally Dead book club picks. The Lost Ones by Sheena Kamal. I feel so bad. I gave this book a 1 star. I feel bad. I don't like giving books 1 stars, but I genuinely did not enjoy the experience. The story was fine. I don't think it was for me. The last, like, 20 chapters, I was just ready for it to be over, and that's when, like, the action started to really pick up. This is also a thriller, and to be entirely honest, I still don't know what the plot is. Like, I don't know what I read. We follow our main character, Nora Watts, who is an Indigenous woman living in Canada, and her birth daughter, who she gave away for adoption, has gone missing. She's a private investigator, and the family reaches out to her to find their daughter, Bonnie. That's it, I think. I think there is definitely more. There was a lot more going on, obviously the deeper story. But it just wasn't for me. I didn't have fun. I don't like some of the word choices. There's a specific word that starts with a C that I get really uncomfortable hearing, and so I heard it multiple times in the book, and every time I just, like, kind of cringed. I was like, I don't like it. But it's definitely a very real, very raw story. There were definitely moments where it was really hard to listen and take in. I definitely gained something from the book. It just wasn't enjoyable to read. And I don't know if all thrillers are really going for, like, have fun following along this crazy storyline. But I don't think I was in the right mood for it, the right headspace for it. But I listened to it. I gave it a shot. The Literally Dead Book Club is having a live show this weekend for They Never Learn. So the Lost Ones live show will probably be a little bit later this month if you're interested in picking it up, as if I really sold it to you to check it out. But that is an option. It's available. And last but certainly not least, the star of the month, House of Salt and Sorrows. I have heard a couple booktubers that I'm, like, really into talk about this and recommend it. Even though I don't necessarily think they enjoyed this book thoroughly, I ended up giving this 5 stars. In here we're following Anna Lee and her 7 sisters? Once there were 12 of us. I think there's 7 at the start. And then it goes down to 6. I don't remember. To be honest, there's a lot of death. There's death. The sisters are dropping like flies from a possible family curse. This curse is so interesting. This story Oh my god, Chef's Kiss, guys. Like, I just had such a time adventuring with this book. This is from Erin Craig. Took me on a journey. She just describes things so well. So descriptive. I really enjoyed like the gore, scary horror moments of, is this a ghost? Are we being haunted? To beautiful, extravagant balls that are just stunning and fairy shoes. I just really enjoyed this. I had such a fun time. I think I've been really missing fantasy. This is a YA standalone fantasy, which was really enjoyable. I don't have to worry about series. Oh, I had a lot of fun reading this. I didn't want to put it down. I ended up reading it like primarily in 4 days. It was just, I would stay up all night watching this, reading this. This is a book. I watched it in my head. Anyway, I had a really good time. Highly suggest, if you're into fantasy. It is dark, so know kind of what you're going into. There is death. I definitely will be reading it again. I gave it 5 stars. It's going to be reread at some point. I just know it. That was my books. I ended up reading 6. That's pretty good. Not too bad. Now, for July, I don't know what month we're in. For July, the buzzword theme is last. So the word last needs to be in the title. For this, I have 3 books picked out. 1 audio, 2 physical, and then I have a few other just random books to like throw into the mix. First we have Last Tank Standing by Lauren Ho. This is described as Crazy Rich Asian meets Bridget Jones' Diaries. In this funny and irresistible debut novel about the pursuit of happiness, surviving one's 30s intact. Thirsties? I'm thirsty. Oh boy. And opening oneself up to love. I don't know much about this. Fun fact about me, I prefer to go into stories blind. I don't want to know the synopsis typically, but I am really excited for this. This is probably my most hyped book of this month. Next we have The Last Song by Nicholas Sparks. Cover with Miley Cyrus. You know, I gotta do it. This is one of my favorite Nicholas Sparks movies. I love Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth in it. It's just a grand old time. So I'm gonna read the book. Probably. Hopefully. Maybe? Probably. On to the next. The first book that I actually have finished this month, I'm on a roll, finished this in a day, was Elazaway by Darcy Little Badger. Oh my goodness. Another 5-star. This is like magical realism. Like, you're in Texas, but there's ghosts and poltergeists and vampires. It was such a good time. I highly suggest the audiobook. I don't have a physical copy. I do plan to buy one because I do think that I'll revisit this story. But oh my goodness, so good. I had so much fun. Following Elazaway, a indigenous woman, girl, she's in high school, who has been taught generations of ancestors down to raise the dead. She has her poltergeist dog, Kirby, who passed away, and she brought back to life. And then brought, not really a spoiler, but like a really fun little snippet of the story I enjoyed that they kept going back to, was her bringing her dog, Kirby, who was dead, to show and tell, and to prove that she had a ghost dog. She made Kirby howl, who then shattered the windows and gave every kid a nosebleed. And I just love that. I don't know. Something about that just gives me the right vibes. I was really into it. Her cousin gets in a car accident, and following his death, we're kind of just seeing how the family is dealing with it and trying to figure out what happened, as well as not summoning his ghost. because human ghosts are really angry and they're not fun to deal with. So you got that going for them. There's vampires, there's no romance besides the friend's sister, which I kind of enjoyed. I like romance, but I don't like romance as like the forefront of my stories. In this one, she is an asexual indigenous queen. I love her. She was amazing. They kind of touched on what it's like to be Native American and just like modern day world of having to ask receipts because they're accused of stealing something and so on and so forth. And there's just like small little conversations throughout that I really enjoyed. I loved all of the characters. There's not a single character that I was like, whatever, move on. I loved them all. It was a great story. It was very nice. I loved it. I can't not go on about it. I love my 5-star books. That's just that. Continuing on with the theme of last, I will be listening to The Last Magician by Lisa Maxwell. I know nothing about this. I read the synopsis in January. Don't remember it. Probably not going to read it. I'm just going to go into it. Hear more about it in my wrap up at the end of July. I'm currently listening to The Silent Patient. This is all over BookTube. I swear everybody has been raving about this, so I'm finally jumping on that bandwagon, reading some popular newer stories that everyone just wants to talk about. So that's currently what I'm listening to. And after I finish The Silent Patient, I believe I'm going to start listening to Ninth House, which was another pick that I planned on listening to in May, but ended up postponing because it wasn't available on Scribd. That's kind of my plans, reading-wise. Tuesday, February 9th. Your girl was born.